Hello everyone, I am Epahi Borua and welcome to this MOOC on heritage tourism. In this session, we shall discuss about the importance of tourism and analyze about tourism in the post-industrial society. Tourism has long been an integral aspect of human society, reflecting people's desire for exploration, relaxation, and cultural exchange. From its earliest forms, such as pilgrimages, trade journeys, and royal expeditions, to the highly organized travel systems of the modern era, tourism has evolved alongside social, economic, and technological development. In any society, tourism functions as both a cultural expression and an economic activity. It enables individuals to experience different ways of life, appreciate diverse traditions, and foster intercultural understanding. Tourism today is one of the most dynamic and influential forces shaping our global culture and economy. But to truly understand its modern form, we must look at how tourism has evolved alongside human society itself. In the past, travel meant something very different. It was a privilege of the few, merchants, monks, pilgrims, explorers, or scholars. But as societies changed, especially after the Industrial Revolution, travel became accessible to the many. In the post-industrial era, where technology, information, and experience dominate our world, tourism has transformed completely. It has become a lifestyle, an identity, and even a social statement. In this session, we will explore how tourism functions within a post-industrial society, first looking at the global transformation, then examining the Indian context, and finally understanding how these changes are reflected in Assam and the Northeast. Before we discuss, we need to understand what the term post-industrial society really means. The phrase was popularized by sociologist Daniel Bell in the 1970s. He described a world that had moved beyond heavy manufacturing, a world driven by information, services, and knowledge. In the industrial era, the economy revolved around factories, machines, and physical goods. But in the post-industrial age, the most valuable commodities are ideas, experiences, and information. This transformation changed the way people live, work, and think. Urban centers grew, education expanded, and technology began to shrink distances. As incomes rose and working hours became more flexible, people began to seek something beyond economic security. They sought personal fulfillment, leisure, and meaning. And tourism became one of the most visible expressions of that shift. Beyond recreation, tourism contributes significantly to social cohesion by creating shared spaces of interaction and learning between hosts and visitors. In contemporary societies, tourism is also a marker of lifestyle and identity. The motivations for travel extend beyond leisure to include education, wellness, environmental awareness, and heritage appreciation. As a social institution, tourism generates employment, stimulates local economies, and often serves as a medium for preserving cultural and natural heritage. However, it also introduces challenges such as over-commercialization, environmental degradation, and cultural commodification that require ethical management and sustainable practices. Thus, Tourism today is not merely a movement of people, but a reflection of how societies value culture, nature, and human connection in a globalized world. Now, let us look at how tourism has evolved globally in the post-industrial context. Today, tourism is one of the largest industries on earth, employing hundreds of millions of people and contributing nearly a tenth of global GDP. But its importance goes far beyond numbers. The post-industrial society brought a revolution in mobility, communication, and lifestyle, all of which directly reshaped tourism. During the mid-20th century, affordable air travel and improved infrastructure turned tourism from a luxury into a mass activity. What was once limited to the elite became available to the middle class. The democratization of travel meant that families could take holidays, students could explore the world, and retired could find relaxation in distant lands. Then came the digital revolution. The internet changed everything: how we plan trips, choose destinations, book hotels, and even how we share our experiences. Today, we don't just travel, we document our journeys, post them online, and turn them into part of our social identity. A single photograph on social media can turn a hidden village into a global attraction overnight. In the post-industrial world, the modern tourist is not satisfied with passive sightseeing. People no longer just want to see places, they want to experience them. This has led to the rise of experiential tourism, where travelers seek authenticity, local engagement, and learning. Whether it's a food tour in Italy, yoga in Rishikesh, or volunteering in rural Africa, tourism has become a form of self-expression. We have seen an explosion of niche tourism, ecotourism, wellness tourism, adventure tourism, heritage tourism, and creative tourism. These forms respond to new values, sustainability, mindfulness, and individuality. For example, in post-industrial societies, where people are often distanced from nature and tradition, ecotourism provides a chance to reconnect with both. Another hallmark of post-industrial tourism is conscious travel. The modern traveler is more aware of environmental footprints and social responsibility. There is a growing desire to travel ethically to support local communities, respect traditions, and protect ecosystems. So, global tourism in the post-industrial era is diverse, participatory, and deeply personal. It reflects a world where experiences matter more than possessions. In the post-industrial era, tourism has transformed into one of the most dynamic sectors of the global economy. As societies moved from manufacturing-based economies to service and knowledge-oriented systems, tourism emerged as a key driver of growth and innovation. Increased disposable income, technological advancement, and the rise of digital media have made travel more accessible and personalized. In the post-industrial societies, tourism is no longer restricted to elite travelers. It has become a mass social phenomenon. Modern tourists seek experiences rather than destinations. Cultural, eco, wellness, and adventure tourism reflect shifting social values that emphasize authenticity, sustainability, and personal growth. Urban centers have reinvented themselves as cultural hubs, while rural and heritage sites attract visitors seeking meaningful encounters with history and environment. The post-industrial society has also given rise to experiential tourism, where learning, creativity, and emotional engagement define travel. Thus, tourism today stands as both a product and a reflection of post-industrial transformation shaped by global mobility, digital interconnectivity, and the evolving aspirations of modern life. Tourism holds profound importance in society as a medium of cultural exchange, economic growth, and human development. It allows individuals to move beyond their immediate environments, encounter different cultures, and cultivate a deeper appreciation for diversity and shared heritage. In a social sense, tourism fosters dialogue and understanding between communities, promoting peace and mutual respect. It also strengthens local identities by encouraging the preservation of cultural traditions, art forms, architecture, and languages. Economically, tourism serves as a vital engine for employment generation, infrastructure development, and rural upliftment. By linking the social, cultural, and economic dimensions of life, tourism becomes an essential component of human progress and global harmony. The industrial society played a pivotal role in transforming and enhancing tourism into an organized, accessible, and large-scale phenomena. The Industrial Revolution of the 18th and 19th centuries revolutionized transportation and communication, introducing railways, steamships, and later automobiles that made travel faster, safer, and more affordable. Urbanization and rising income among the working and middle classes created new demands for leisure and recreation. Paid holidays, better working conditions, and shorter working hours allowed people to explore travel opportunities, thus democratizing tourism beyond the elite. Simultaneously, industrialization led to the development of hospitality industries like hotels, travel agencies, and tour companies, which structured tourism as a professional economic sector. The expansion of print media, photography, and later mass communication promoted destinations and shaped modern travel aspirations. Industrial society also emphasized efficiency, planning, and comfort, which influenced how tourism infrastructure and services were designed. In essence, the industrial age transformed tourism from a privilege of the few into a widespread social experience. It established the foundations of modern tourism systems, enabling people to connect across borders, cultures, and environments. The industrial transformation thus not only enhanced the accessibility of travel, but also redefined it as an enduring symbol of progress, leisure, and global interconnection. As we step into the age of technology, knowledge, and connectivity, the face of tourism has changed more profoundly than ever before. The post-industrial society, often called the information age, has reshaped the way people move, see, and experience the world. Tourism today is no longer about simply going from one place to another. It is about seeking meaning, connections, and experience. Let us begin with the global scenario. In the post-industrial world, tourism has emerged as one of the largest and fastest growing industries. With the decline of heavy manufacturing and rise of service-based economies, travel has become both a cultural aspiration and an economic powerhouse. Advances in transportation, from affordable air travel to high-speed trains, have made the world more accessible than ever. At the same time, digital technology has revolutionized the way people plan and experience their journeys. A single click can take us through virtual tours of the Louvre, the Great Wall, or the pyramids of Egypt. The social media platforms have transformed destinations into shared spaces of imagination and desire. More importantly, the modern tourist is no longer a mere observer. He or she is a participant, seeking authentic encounters through cultural, eco, and adventure tourism. Sustainability, local engagement, and ethical travel have become the key pillars of post-industrial tourism. Turning to India, the transformation has been equally dynamic. The post-industrial shift opened vast opportunities for India to position itself as a diverse, year-round tourist destination. With growing middle-class income and improved connectivity, domestic and international travel have surged dramatically. From the snow-capped Himalayas to the coasts of Kerala, from Rajasthan's deserts to the tea gardens of Assam, tourism in India now reflects both tradition and modernity. The country's cultural richness, yoga and wellness heritage, and vibrant festivals have made it a focal point of experiential and spiritual tourism. Digitalization has made travel planning easier, and the government initiatives like Incredible India have turned tourism into a movement of national pride and global engagement. And now, let us look closer towards our own region, Assam and the Northeast. In this post-industrial era, Assam has stepped into the global tourism map with renewed energy and vision. The lush green tea gardens, the mighty Brahmaputra, the living traditions of the Hotros, the rhythmic dance of Bihu, and the world-famous Kaziranga National Park, all together form a living museum of culture and nature. Tourism in Northeast and Assam is not confined to sightseeing. It is about experience, about living the stories of the land. Ecotourism in the river islands of Majuli, tea tourism in Jorhat, adventure tourism in the hills of Karbi Anglong, and cultural festivals like Rach and Junbil Mela are transforming how visitors engage with the region. Moreover, in this post-industrial society, tourism in Assam serves not just as an economic activity, but as a bridge connecting heritage and innovation. The involvement of local communities, the promotion of homestays, and the growing interest of scholars and filmmakers in documenting the region have made tourism both sustainable and inclusive. So, as we look around the world and within ourselves, one truth becomes clear. Post-industrial tourism is not merely about movement. It is about transformation. It transforms how we see others. It transforms how we see our cultures. And most importantly, how we see ourselves in the vast journey of humanity. Assam, with its timeless beauty and living traditions, stands ready to tell its world through every traveler who walks its land, sails its rivers, and listens to the whispers of its heritage. Tourism has always played a vital role in human society, but the meaning, motivations, and patterns of travel have evolved significantly over time. To understand tourism in the contemporary world, especially in the post-industrial era, it is important to explore how tourism functions socially, economically, and culturally. Tourism has never been simply the act of moving from one place to another. It is deeply connected to how individuals and communities relate to identity, culture, heritage, livelihood, and self-expression. In earlier societies, travel was often restricted to a small group of people: pilgrims, merchants, scholars, rulers, or explorers. Travel represented spiritual fulfillment, commercial exchange, the pursuit of knowledge, or territorial expansion. Over centuries, these forms of movement shaped social networks, trade routes, shared belief systems, and cultural landscapes. Tourism gradually emerged as a social institution, reflecting the values and structures of each historical era. As societies industrialized during the 18th and 19th centuries, major transformations reshaped travel. The Industrial Revolution played a decisive role in expanding tourism. The invention of steamships, railways, and later automobiles and air travel enabled faster, safer, and more affordable movement. Urbanization created concentrated working populations who required recreation and rest away from their workplaces. Rising incomes, paid holidays, and improving living standards led to leisure travel becoming a possibility not only for elites but also for the middle and working classes. Hotels, travel agencies, guidebooks, public parks, and museum culture also emerged during this period, laying the foundation of organized tourism. However, the most profound transformation occurred in what is now described as the post-industrial society, which began to emerge in the late 20th century. This phase marks a shift from manufacturing-based economies to service, information, and knowledge-based economies. Sociologist Daniel Bell described this era as one in which creativity, communication, and innovation become more central than physical labor. In this society, lifestyles changed dramatically. People began valuing personal experiences, education, self-discovery, wellness, creativity, and meaningful leisure. Tourism mirrors this shift. In the post-industrial era, tourism became one of the largest and fastest growing sectors of the global economy. Technological advancement, especially in the internet, digital booking platforms, online payments, smartphones, and social media made travel planning personalized and accessible. A global communication network emerged in which destinations were promoted through visuals, stories, and experiences shared by travelers themselves. Tourism also became a form of identity expression. People no longer traveled only to see famous landmarks. Travel became a way of expressing what they value, how they see themselves, and the kind of world they want to belong to. This shift gave rise to experiential tourism, where the focus is not simply the destination, but the experience of local culture, community, interaction, creative engagement, and emotional connection. Ecotourism, heritage tourism, cultural tourism, wellness tourism, spiritual retreats, adventure travel, and volunteer tourism have all grown in response to this desire for meaningful encounters. The post-industrial traveler seeks authenticity, sustainability, and ethical engagement. They want to learn to contribute and to feel transformed by this journey. In India, the post-industrial transformation of tourism has been particularly significant. Economic liberalization, infrastructure development, and rising middle-class incomes have made domestic and international travel widely accessible. Government campaigns like Incredible India and Dekho Apna Desh have promoted national cultural pride and encouraged citizens to explore diverse environments. From the Himalayas to Kerala backwaters, from desert fort cities to river island cities, tourism has become a key component of India's service economy, generating employment and linking rural, urban, and tribal regions through cultural exchange and community-based enterprises. India's global identity as a center of yoga, Ayurveda, cultural arts, festivals, cuisines, and spiritual heritage has further strengthened its tourism profile. When we look specifically at Assam and Northeast, the impact of the post-industrial tourism shift becomes deeply meaningful. Assam's unique cultural landscapes, its hotras, indigenous festivals, performing arts, textile traditions, river valley ecology, and tea heritage aligns perfectly with the experiential values of economy and tourism. Visitors travel to Assam not only to see but to be a part of cultural life. Ecotourism in Kaziranga, Majuli, and river island environments reflects the global heritage and desire to reconnect with nature. Heritage tourism in hotras and temple sites reflects the search for the identity and belonging. Tea tourism reflects the fusion of history and lifestyle aesthetics. Adventure tourism in hills and forests attracts younger travelers seeking challenge and discovery. Community-run homestays, craft learning workshops, local food tours, and cultural festivals create mutually respectful exchange between visitors and host communities. Tourism in Assam today functions as a bridge between heritage and innovation. Local participation ensures that tourism supports livelihood while preserving identity, traditions, and ecological balance. This is particularly significant in the post-industrial age, where sustainability, cultural dignity, and community empowerment have become core values. At the same time, Assam's tourism sector faces challenges such as infrastructure development, responsible planning, and balanced promotion, but these challenges also present opportunities for thoughtful growth. In the post-industrial era, tourism is not merely about travel. It has become a reflection of how societies understand culture, relationship, environment, and personal meaning. Tourism today presents a dialogue between the past and the present, local and the global, nature and human aspirations. It is shaped by awareness, sensitivity, and the desire to engage with the world in deeper ways. Globally, tourism now emphasizes experiences over consumption, connection over observation, and responsibility over exploitation. In India, tourism expresses continuity of cultural heritage and diversity in modern life. In Assam, tourism embodies the spirit of living landscape and living tradition, offering travelers the chance not only to visit but to understand, to learn, to feel, and to become a part of the story of the land. Thus, tourism in the post-industrial world is a journey of the senses, the intellect, the heart, a journey that brings us closer not only to places but to each other and ultimately to ourselves. As we come to the end of this discussion, it has become evident that tourism in the post-industrial society is far more than an act of leisure. It is a reflection of who we are as a global community. In this new era, travel is guided not merely by curiosity or commerce, but by consciousness. It mirrors our values of sustainability, inclusivity, and cultural respect. Across the world, people are traveling not just to see, but to learn, to connect, and to contribute. The post-industrial world has transformed tourism into an experience of the senses and the spirit. Technology has erased distances, while awareness has deepened our understanding of the places we visit. Whether it is a traveler exploring the ancient streets of Rome, meditating in the serene monasteries of Ladakh, or sailing through the mighty Brahmaputra in Assam, each journey today carries a story of mutual respect and discovery. Tourism now stands at the intersection of innovation and tradition, of global networks and local identities. In India, and particularly in Assam, tourism has become a celebration of living heritage. The region's diverse landscapes, vibrant cultures, and age-old wisdom have gained new meaning in the post-industrial world. As travelers seek authenticity and purpose, Assam offers both a harmonious blend of nature, culture, and human warmth. And with this, we conclude our module on tourism in post-industrial society. Through our journey together, we explored how travel evolved, from ancient pilgrimages and trade routes to expeditions, learning tours, and finally to the modern experiences of the post-industrial age. Each phase tells us something profound, that the human desire to move, to explore, and to connect is timeless. In our next modules, we will continue to trace how this evolving spirit of tourism shapes sustainable futures, where travel becomes not just a journey across space, but a journey towards understanding, empathy, and shared global heritage. Thank you for being a part of this learning voyage.